Hey everyone! If you're looking for the right dog trainer for you and your buddy here in Pleasanton, you've come to the right place. Let's get right to it.
Having a well-trained dog really changes everything. It means you can actually relax and enjoy all the beautiful spots Pleasanton has to offer, making those walks calm and just pleasant for everybody involved.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll talk about training specifically for life here in Pleasanton, figuring out what your dog actually needs, how to find a great trainer, the right questions to ask them, and of course, what to expect for costs and timelines.
All right, first up, training for Pleasanton life. Let's talk about why getting local training really matters for your day-to-day.
So the whole point here is to get your dog ready for real-life situations you'll actually run into around town. I mean, think about it. You're navigating those busy downtown sidewalks, or trying to have a nice meal at one of the outdoor spots on Main Street. Or what about walking politely past all the bikes on the Iron Horse Trail? And you know how crowded those community festivals can get. Good training makes sure your dog is a confident, happy companion in all these spots, instead of, a source of stress.
Next, let's figure out what your dog really needs. This is all about identifying your specific training goals.
So, what are you actually trying to accomplish? This is the first, most important question. Is it about getting a new puppy started on the right foot with basic manners? Or are you dealing with something more specific with your adult dog, like, say, pulling on the leash like crazy or dealing with some anxiety? Getting clear on this is key.
There are a bunch of different paths you can take. You've got your basic obedience, puppy-specific training, or maybe you need behavior modification for tougher stuff like reactivity or separation anxiety. Then there's training just for great family dog manners or even getting into something fun like agility. Once you know what you need, finding the right person gets so much easier.
And then you have to think about how you want the training delivered. Does in-home, one-on-one coaching make the most sense, especially if the issues happen right there at home? Or would your dog benefit from group classes where they can work on socialization? There's also day training and even board and train options. It really comes down to what fits your lifestyle and your dog's needs.
Okay, so you know what you want. Now let's talk about finding the right trainer. What to look for in a qualified professional. This is a big one. You'll want to look for trainers who use positive reinforcement methods. Basically, this means they use rewards like treats, praise, or toys to encourage the behaviors you want. It's backed by science, and it's all about building trust and a great relationship with your dog, not using fear or punishment. The results tend to stick, too.
All right, let's decode some of this alphabet soup you might see after a trainer's name. These credentials can tell you a lot. For instance, a CPDTKA is a good sign they have a solid, certified knowledge of humane training. But if you're dealing with really tough stuff, like serious aggression, seeing something like CBCCKA means they've been assessed specifically for those complex issues. It helps you match their specialty to your dog's needs.
All right, let's say you found a trainer who looks promising. It's time to do a little interviewing. Here are the important questions you'll want to ask.
Here's a quick checklist for you. You'll want to ask straight up, what methods do you use to make sure it aligns with that positive approach? Ask about their credentials and how they keep their skills up to date. A big one is, how will you customize this for my dog? You don't want a cookie-cutter plan. And definitely get clear on how you'll both measure progress, what the total costs are, and what happens if you need to cancel. Oh, and if you're dealing with behavior issues, it's great to know if they're willing to work with your vet.
Okay, let's get into the practical side of things, costs and timelines. Here's a realistic look at your investment.
So here's a general idea of what people in Pleasanton and around Alameda County are paying for training this year. As you can see, it really varies. Group classes are usually the most budget-friendly way to get started. Private lessons are a step up, and then you have packages. The most significant investment is usually a board and train program where your dog lives with the trainer for a few weeks.
This is a question everybody asks. How long is this actually going to take?
And the answer really depends on your goals. For basic skills, sit, stay, walking nicely on leash, you can see really solid progress in just 4 to 8 weeks, as long as you're practicing every day. But for more complex stuff like fear, reactivity, or aggression, well, that's a different story. That often takes several months of very careful, very patient work. There's no quick fix for those bigger issues. Now, once you get going with training, you've got to practice. And lucky for us, we have some great spots right here in Pleasanton. Muirwood Dog Park is awesome for working on socialization and recall in a safe space. For practicing those leash skills with distractions like hikers and bikes, Pleasanton Ridge is perfect. And a place like Del Valle is great for working on just staying calm around all the activity near the water and picnic areas.
Well, I hope this helps you get started on your training journey. You know, all the effort you put in now pays off in so many ways. It really does make every visit to the farmer's market, every single neighborhood walk, and even just those quiet evenings at home so much better. For everyone. Good luck!